Welcome to Larry the Alchemist, where we discuss all things heavy metal and hard rock. On today's episode, two advancements in music technology that I would like to see. Technology is always changing. 30 years ago, no one could have dreamed of streaming. There was a point in time where compact discs were this crazy new thing. So things are always changing. These are two things that I would like to see for the future. All right, number one, I would like to see artists offering the isolated tracks from their albums in some sort of package. You already see this a little bit on YouTube, where you can hear the isolated drum track from Flight of Icarus. You can hear the isolated vocal tracks from Bohemian Rhapsody. Those all came from those games that were popular in the 90s, 2000s, like Rock Band, and I forget what the other ones were called. And in order for those games to work, they had to have the isolated tracks, and people were able to crack into the games and then post these things and what you see on YouTube. That's why they're always limited with the number of things that you can hear. And there's even technology now. I've just saw a video on, there's some sort of AI technology that can analyze a song and actually pull pieces apart. Apparently that's what they used with this new Beatles song. So I would like to see bands offer the isolated tracks from albums, and then I find that fascinating, listening to things in isolation like that, the guitar part by itself or the bass part by itself. And then also I think a lot of people would enjoy mixing the records themselves, making your own personal mix. How fun would that be to make your own personal mix of Painkiller or Dark Side of the Moon? I just think that people would love that, and it's something that personally I would really enjoy and would be willing to pay money for. All right, number two for me, an advancement in technology would be around streaming. I've done various videos on streaming, so we're not going to get into whether streaming is a good or a bad thing. I stream. I have Apple Music. When I'm in my house, I listen to vinyl. When I'm outside walking around or in my car, I stream Apple Music. But there's no denying that the artists get paid very, very little. I made a video on, well, who's really to blame for that? I'll try to remember to link that down below. We're not going to get into that right now, but they don't get paid enough. So I would like to see a streaming service where maybe the way it's set up is let's say you're paying $12 a month for the subscription to this streaming service. $2 of it goes to the platform, and the remaining $10 is divided between whatever you listen to that month goes directly to those artists. So let's say, for instance, this last month, the new Dokken album, Heaven Comes Down. I'm going to be making a video on that. Love the album. I listen to it a lot. Let's say 50% of my listening within the last month was the new Dokken record. So 50% of that $10, $5 would go directly to Dokken. I think that would make people feel better about being on these streaming services if they knew that a big chunk of 90% of their money was going directly to the artists. And when you think about it, let's say I were to buy that Dokken CD and pay $12 to $15. Well, in the first month, maybe $5 of mine goes to Dokken. The next month, maybe $2. And then the next couple of months, maybe another dollar here, another dollar there. The band getting that money directly to the band. Now you may say, well, they could have made $15 off the CD. But the thing with CDs is that there's a lot of people who have their hands in things before it actually gets to the artist. Anyways, the artist usually saw a small part, $1 to $2 or so of a CD by the time it actually reaches them, or whatever the physical media is. So this would be a more direct way to the artist. And I think it would make people feel better that the money that they're putting into streaming, even though they may not be, maybe there's somebody who doesn't buy physical product anymore, they would know that the majority of what they're paying for with the streaming service is going directly to the artists. And I think that the artist would love that, and it might incentivize artists then to keep people engaged, to maybe be putting out rare live shows or unreleased cuts or studio outtakes or something, so it keeps people coming back. Because if they know, like, hey, if this person listens to my song enough, I can get $2 or $3 from every person who listens to this month, and that could really add up, I think, for the band. So all right, there you go. There's my two ideas for advancements in music technology. Let me know what you think of mine. Let me know what are some of yours. And I know some of this is dreaming and wishing and everything, but who knows, with advancements in technology, I mean, who would have thought AI would be where it's at right now 5 years ago? Who would have thought streaming would have existed 30 years ago? So you never know. So even if it's a little bit of fantasy or, a stretch, that's all right. Let me know what some of your things you would like to see advancements in music technology. Let me know down below. Let me know what you think of mine. Till we see you again, make sure you stay heavy, stay metal.